I'm eating oatmeal with... What are these things? Pieces of cut up grape and pineapple. Okay, so for those that are curious, raisin and pineapple is what I'm eating here. It's good for the stomach. I might drink some green tea in a little bit. It helps to get rid of caffeine addiction. Alright, so guess what I did? Guess what I decided to do? Well, I decided that I wanted to study the Hungarian and the Georgian languages, and guess what I found out? They are probably the most hardest and the most terribly, utterly horrific languages for an English speaker, a native English speaker like myself, to learn. Wow. How wonderful, dude. Oh, and guess what? Did you know that Hungarian vowels and Georgian vowels, like if you were to get like a book about Georgian vowels and grammar, it would be about this thick. It'll be about like that. In comparison, if you're trying to learn French, like you try to learn French, it'll be about maybe like that, the textbook will be, and Georgian is about like that, in comparison. So yes, how wonderful. Georgian has to be one of the most hardest languages that you could ever learn. How do you like that? How do you like that?
This may look like I just furiously typed some random letters, but I swear it's not gibberish, it's Georgian. This tough language has some record-breaking words. Its clustered consonants might not...
Oh yeah, the Georgian alphabet, guess what? There is no other alphabet like it in the world. There isn't. It is its own completely, its completely own alphabet. So yes, Georgian has to be a super difficult language to learn. I have always wanted to learn Lithuanian. Well, good luck for you, ma'am. I wish you the best.
Not be as tricky as you think, though. Somehow, they're even worse. Dear Kartuli, or as we call you in English, Georgian, I've been noticing something about you ever since I mentioned you in my video on the Caucasus. You have a reputation. You're labeled difficult by frustrated learners and fascinated language nerds alike. The U.S. Foreign Service Institute maybe rates you a category 4 out of 5. Actually 4 asterisk because you're unusually tough for a 4. Is it your ejective consonants? Fewer than some languages, but still. Is it your 7 different noun cases? Your base 20 numbers? Or your very own old writing system that looks like something out of a fantasy world-building daydream? No, I figured it out. I know what makes you tough. Today, I hope you'll appreciate the attention I'll pay to the biggest of your many, many quirks. Well, Kamarjoba, thanks for letting me finish that letter. I've been meaning to write it for a while now. Well, now that you're here, let's pretend. Imagine that you're new to Georgian, never studied it before. You've tried another language, you know, the gentle kind they let everyone in on. Maybe you took Spanish, or French, or maybe German for the challenge. Now, all of a sudden, you're dealing with Georgian. Why would you subject yourself to this? Maybe because your crush is Georgian? Or the music. You're really into polyphony. Oh, no, I know. It was the food, wasn't it? Ever dipped into some eggplant tzatziki before? Well, I guess that swayed you and you're going for it. Kudos, language adventurer. But for all of its notoriety I mentioned, none of this is the bane of learners. The real issue tying their tongues is, say it with me now, Kvrtskvni. Yes, that is one single syllable. It means you peel us, and it starts with you pronouncing a bunch of consonants before you get any relief with that vowel. How just one syllable? Well, that's easy. You want to know how many syllables a Georgian word has? Count its vowels. Even the ah here is 3 syllables. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then one vowel, which makes this quite a cluster of consonants. Yeah, good luck finding a language that outdoes Georgian, which might take the record for longest cluster before the nucleus of a syllable. 'Cause that's a record we were all competing over. Now, overwhelmed students have spit out their own names for this, but a kind way to put it is that Georgian has a highly complex syllable structure. I might have another problem with this syllable. It's unnatural. Almost. See, here's how things are supposed to work. Syllables flow in a certain shape, going from stoppy, restricted sounds at the edges to sonorous sounds in the center. This principle supposedly makes information easier to convey syllable after syllable. But no. What does Georgian go and do? It gets you pronouncing clusters that most languages find awkward.
Sonority violation.
Your mouth's gonna need some warm-ups before you can say this. Take it letter by letter. After all, Georgians will proudly tell you that their words are pronounced exactly as written. Now, this paper argues back that such syllables could be easier for Georgians to recognize and articulate. Nevertheless, they are unusual. So if you decide to make up a plausible natural language, don't base it off of Georgian. Nobody will believe you. Come on, no one speaks that way. Except in Georgia. I mean, this is a country where people call their dad mama and their mother is deda. Seriously. Why are Georgian consonants getting so clustery and seemingly disordered? Blame it on the verbs. How do I put this? I don't want to shatter your dreams. If you're really intent on learning this language, take a deep breath. As the introductory pep talk in this grammar soberly warns you, Georgian is not an easy language. Its verbs are almost certain to exceed in complexity anything that you will have experienced before. Here's the short story. There are these things called screeves, versioners, polypersonal... Oh wait, I'm sorry, that's the long story. Okay, here's the deal for those of us who want to watch a video, be fascinated, and move on with our lives. Almost paradoxically, many of Georgia's verbs start out small. And I mean tiny. A verb root can be just r. That means bring. Or rb, run away. And bake is t. But in practice, what they turn into...
Oh my goodness, dude. Why does this have to be so difficult? Oh yeah, dude. I just happen to have Hungarian and Georgian heritage. And then these languages happen to be the most difficult and hardest languages for an English speaker. German, you might think that German is difficult, but it's really not. For an English speaker, German is relatively easy to learn. French might be easier, but German, compared to these kind of languages, they are extremely difficult. Hungarian and Georgian are that difficult. And here it is. The hardest language in the world is literally Hungarian. So
today I'll show you guys how hard Hungarian is.
El kell káposztást talaníthatatlanságoskodásaitokért.
Üdvözlet Magyarországra!
Oh, by the way, that was a single word. And that was just like, that was a single vowel word in Hungarian.
The hardest language in the world, Hungarian. I have traveled around the world over the last 8.5 years.
I love Syria!
I heard many difficult languages.
Urana Nikihuko, Ciesatiana.
Like Polish.
Yes!
są brzmi w Chinie.
Lubię zdobywać nowe doświadczenia. Finish!
I'm finished.
Malay.
Wir kan hari hari baik, mingala kan hari hari yang buruk.
And Arabic.
Assalamu alaikum, it's me Gustav.
Just to mention a few of the difficult languages I have encountered. But for me, one specific language is the most difficult, and maybe even the hardest language in the world. Hungarian. Hungary is a country of around 10 million people, and 13 million people speak Hungarian.
Hungary.
The capital Budapest is a magical city which really has it all. And for me, one of the eye-catchers is the parliament. Built in Gothic style, one of the most beautiful buildings I've ever seen.
Welcome to Budapest.
An ear-catcher, however, is the language.
És ó szavakat és dolgokat tanulni.
Egy aprócska kalapocska benne, csacska, macska, mocska. Hungarian is very easy.
I've always enjoyed the challenge of learning a new language.
Hello, hi, I'm from Budapest, Hungary.
Hungarian is a very difficult language.
Yeah.
Do you know any difficult Hungarian words?
There's a lot. Ami megszentségteleníthetetlenségeskedéseitekért. It's one word.
If that's one word, then what about one sentence?
Olyan ország, amelyik nem tetszik.
Kína.
Miért?
Sokan vannak.
Hungarian is difficult to speak and to understand as well, using a lot of throaty sounds that are not only tough for people to mimic, but can actually be a little painful to replicate at first.
Yes.
The Hungarian alphabet contains 44 letters. No fewer than 4 versions of the letter O are found in the Hungarian alphabet. And there are several combined letters. The Hungarians love their language.
Best language?
Wow.
And language too.
Nice.
This is extremely good. The only problem is your hands get really dirty, but it's worth it.
I like it.
And this is the Hungarian word for pharmacy, of course. The 5 vowels of the English language pale in comparison to Hungarian's total of 14. The Hungarian alphabet is derived from the Latin alphabet, and for some the language is easier to learn than others.
Is it hot, Hungarian?
It is. Very hard.
Do you know anything now after 1 year?
I barely know something. Szia, sziasztok. And when you buy something, tessék, say good, jó, very good, now jó.
For me as a guy from Denmark, it's so hard.
Melyik ország tetszik?
And it would take me many years of practice to speak it to perfection. So many things to learn. The official language of Hungary is complex and unique. Despite the country's location in Central Europe, its dialect is nothing like those spoken in its neighboring countries. While Hungary's language is generally referred to as Hungarian outside the country's border, in fact its proper name is Magyar, which can also be used to refer to the Hungarian people.
Én magyar vagyok, és Magyarország csodálatos.
Hungary's longest word is the 44-letter long phrase.
El kell káposztástalaníthatatlanságoskodásaitok.
But actually words can be much longer.
You can't go to Hungary without some Hungarian gulyás.
Words of more than 100 letters have been created in the past, but with very little meaning, of course.
Hungary.
The language is tricky, and piros and verdos both mean the color red.
How do you say goodbye everybody in Hungarian?
Yeah, viszlát, or hello.
This is Hungarian. This is one of the most difficult languages in the world. Do you agree? Or which one is more difficult? Please comment below. Remember to subscribe to Gus on the...
Okay, so there you go. So German is actually one of the easiest languages to actually learn, especially when compared to Hungarian, to Georgian.
The Hungarian language is one of the most unique languages in Europe, and arguably in the world as well, as unlike most of the languages on the White Devil continent, Europe, it falls under the Uralic family tree, rather than the Indo-European one. This in turn has garnered Hungarian a reputation as one of the most difficult languages in the world, often being ordered in difficulty just below the big three: Chinese, Japanese, and Arabic. So, as someone who's spent the past year and half of his life torturing himself 1 to 2 hours a day learning the Hungarian language, I feel as if it is my duty to tell all of you my findings, To what exactly makes this language so notoriously painstakingly annoying for non-native speakers, as most of you are sane enough not to find out by yourself. To start off, Hungarian is roughly spoken by around 13 million people worldwide. Around 10 million speakers live in Hungary, 1.2 million in Romania, 450,000 in Slovakia, 250,000 in Serbia, 150,000 in Ukraine, and the rest can be found in actually functional countries such as the US, Canada, and apparently Israel. The Hungarian alphabet is quite simple. It more or less follows the rule most of my Serbian viewers should be familiar with, known as one letter, one sound. Except that some letters are made up of two or more. Either way, reading the language is quite simple once you get familiar with the alphabet. The basics of the language structure is that you have a base word, and to convey meaning, you just attach a shit ton of suffixes and prefixes, and boom, you can communicate. Because of this, Hungarian can get extremely long words, which put even those damn Germans into place. The only language that might beat Hungarian in this regard is Welsh, but no one speaks Welsh, so who cares? This all is enabled because Hungarian does this thing called vowel harmony, where there are two sets of vowels, the back vowels, o, a, o, u, and the front vowels, e, i, u, with E and E sometimes being interchangeable. And if the word ends in one type of vowel, you attach suffixes with the same vowel type, and that's all the simple stuff in Hungarian. Now let's talk about why I abuse my computer during my Duolingo practices.
Mert elkurtuk. Nem kicsit, nagyon.
Now, for most European languages, the word order that they follow is pretty simple, and is subject, verb, object, aka SOV. If you don't know what these words mean, click off the video right now and head back to elementary school. Okay, now that most of my American viewers are gone, we can continue. Essentially what this means is that in an English sentence, like I turned myself into a pickle, I is the subject, turned is the verb, and pickle is the object. Similarly, in German, ich verwandelte mich in eine Gurke, ich would be the subject, verwandelte the verb, and Gurke the object. Technically, the better translation would be ich habe mich in eine Gurke verwandelt.
Ich hab nicht einmal Gurke verwandelt.
However, in Hungarian, this shit is thrown straight out the window because fuck you, that's why. Hungarian.
Dude, how did my dad know these languages? When I was a kid growing up, my father could speak Texas German, Texas Deutsch, German, English, Spanish, and some words of Hungarian and Georgian. He literally knew all of these different languages, and he did this before the internet was even around. Like, how did my dad do this, dude? How did my dad know all of these different languages and be in America his entire life? Americans aren't exactly that well known for learning a new language or for being bilingual, much less multilingual. Much less, how did my dad, knowing that he lived at a time before the internet really didn't exist, it wasn't invented yet, and there weren't really a lot of audio tapes, how in the hell did he learn all these different languages? I'm actually legit confused about it. And then, to make things worse, my dad died when I was 14 in 2001. He was like 64 years old, and all that knowledge died with him. So, like, no one else in my family that I know was multilingual like that. Like, there's no one else in my entire family who can speak Hungarian, Georgian, Spanish, Texas Deutsch, German, and English, like my dad was able to do so. My dad was very multilingual, and he was actually quite good at it. And like, no one else in my entire family knew about it. And also, my mother's grandmother, she could actually speak some words of Cherokee, I believe. I think that she kind of knew Cherokee. Well, she didn't actually literally know Cherokee and Creek, but I think that she had grown up in a household learning some of those words. And this is at a time, mind you, when the internet did not exist. And here I am, like, I can't even really spell and pronounce the English language that well. And, like, I'm trying to learn these different languages that my dad and my mother's grandmother knew, and I'm having the worst trouble actually doing it.
It follows a word order structure.
So how do you
topic,
think I feel
focus,
about that?
verb, and then everything else. Which, for a smooth brain like me, is such a difficult concept to grasp that even after almost 2 years of studying this shit, I still don't fully get it. Uberkava valtastotam mogam. Here, the meaning would be, it is the pickle that I have turned myself into, implying that the speaker hasn't turned himself into an apple. As the topic is that the speaker has become a pickle, and we focus on that transformation. Meanwhile, in Uberkava valtastotam mogam, here the speaker proclaims, it is I who has turned myself into a pickle, supposed to someone else, as the topic is I, and we are focusing on the transformation of the speaker into that pickle. Here, valtastotam uberkava
Valtastotam uberkava magam.
Implying that the listener thought perhaps the speaker
Say that 5 times real fast while staring into a mirror, and you'll become Pickle Rick,
Yeah,
or a version of Pickle
Essentially,
Rick.
if most European languages had their word order in 2 dimensions, Hungarian brings in a 3rd dimension and just turns the concept on its head, where now you are communicating a concept passively. If you're not a native speaker, you're going to want to commit ethnic cleansing in the Balkans while trying to understand this. In Hungarian, there are these things called coverbs. Essentially, they are prefixes which you attach to verbs to communicate the direction or type of action that you are committing. For an example, you have ki, which means out. You attach it to the verb megyek, I am going, get the word kimegyek, which means I am going out. Or you have the coverb such as ben, into, attach it to megyek, and you get bemegyek, I am going into something. For the most part, these are quite simple to get your head around. In the beginning, you might clash with your understanding of some cases and generally your concept of how language works, but nonetheless, it's straightforward and you can get a hang of it within a week or 2 of practice. However, there is one coverb which gave me hell, and to an extent still does, that being meg. Now, meg differs from the rest because, like the previously mentioned word order, it takes grammar into a whole other dimension, which is hard to wrap your head around considering most European languages don't really have a similar concept to it, except for English, but even so, it is not...
As you can see, white people's languages are very nice and very sophisticated. Probably one of the reasons that you don't see any black people in Georgia or in Hungary and not a whole lot in Germany is because the white people's languages of those countries are too sophisticated for black people to comprehend and understand. Their chemistry of their brains in their black skin makes it impossible for them to comprehend the sheer sophistication of white people's languages, bro. So yes, I did say that, and yes, I had to say that. Wigger in the Far East! Little shimmy wigger in the Far East! Ohio! Musashi Kamasurashi! Where is the sushi? Screaming with my katana, preparing to go into battle! Little shimmy's ready to party! With katana and with shinobi! Hold on a second. I need to respond to some people. Forge Gang! Boom! Let's go! War in the city! That's right! War in the city! Let's go! War in the city! That is factual. Are you referring about Hungarian and Georgian, bro? Aldi1K, are you okay? Yes, I am. I am trying to learn Hungarian and Georgian, which is one of the most difficult languages in the entire history of mankind. If you think that you're smart by being bilingual, try to learn Hungarian. There's 44 letters in the entire Hungarian alphabet. And that's just the beginning, dude. Okay. NPFW Mugd Vornigo. Vornigo. Is that like Russian, dude? That sounds a lot like Polish or Russian there. Forge Gang! Boom, 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 boom! Let's go! Forge Gang! Welcome to the podcast, Greek. What's up, bro? Samurai Danks. Little Shimmy's first episode dropping tonight. Let's go! Little Shimmy's ready up on the top of the boom, baby. I'm just getting up half on the top, you know. I'm learning my Gara and Georgian too. Let's go! Are the 12-year-old assassin stoic sense still harassing you? On and off, bro. Their names are Jim Bob and Quail Jones. Like, their last name are Jones. And they've not been around. From what I understand, the car that the oldest was driving has been impounded. And, dude, as soon as they turn 17, they get thrown in jail. Irritating people. And, you know, getting into, like, street gangs and stuff. And as soon as they turn 17, they just go to jail. But, yeah, no, I haven't been bothered. It's just been very windy. And, dude, I pulled a muscle in my back. And I had to, like, put this cooling bandage thing into my back. But, yeah, Drunken Surfer, why not try Hebrew Warhammer? Dude, Hebrew and even the Hebrew alphabet is easier than the Georgian alphabet. if you could actually imagine it. Georgian is a Caucasian language, Drunken Surfer, and I don't think it's actually an Indo-European language. Hungarian is not an Indo-European language, it's a Finno-Ugric language. And it is as hard as eating nails and bolts in your mouth for breakfast to learn these languages. Like, hello in Georgian is Gormorskavika, or something like that. It's Gamorskavika, or something crazy like that. But, dude, I thought that only Hasidic, Hasidic rabbis speak Yiddish, like Lithuanian Yiddish, because, like, the Hasidic movement arose in Lithuania. And most Israelis now speak Hebrew. Well, I mean, dude, up until like 100 years ago, Hebrew was almost a dead language. Like, only the rabbis used it in prayer in the synagogue, or in the Sanhedrin. And then the Zionist movement revived Hebrew and turned it into a living language again. For the first time in 1700 years. What was it? When did Jews stop speaking Hebrew? It was what was it, around the Hasmonean period? Dude, like, Jewish history is not like Western history. It's divided into like to the Anuviem, like these different rabbinical periods. Let me see. Jewish prehistory, right fast. Yeah, dude. Oh, Sam Ariano. He has a lot of good stuff, dude. Like, yeah, Jewish history is like, it is divided into the Rishonic period, and this is the late medieval period. And by the way, I am going to freaking butcher these words terribly, because this is not a native language for me. But dude, yeah, like, Jewish history is connected with the Acharanim, which began in like 1567 and is still ongoing. And the previous period was
before I start talking about Jewish history.
Yeah, the Rishonic period, which corresponds to the late medieval period. But I don't have, like, Drunken Surfer, I don't really have any Jewish heritage. So, I mean, I'm interested in Georgian and Hungarian because of my dad's ancestry. I want to learn these languages a lot, and they are difficult as hell to learn. Bank to purchase back my items. Dude, I have to find Death's office in RuneScape, and then I have to buy money from the bank. I have to get money from the bank, and I have to buy back all these items. And the more that I freaking die, like, the more times that I lose items. The wiki is good for info. Just type anything into Google with OSRS at the end, i.e. Death's Office OSRS. Okay, thank you. When I am playing OSRS again later, I will Google those terminologies. But yeah. What's up, Aldi 1K, my man? How's it going, bro? 109. Fire! Fire! Let's go! Like hardcore metal alchemist. You know what I beginnest at, bro. This is what's happening. That's Full Metal Jacket. Oh, Wigger in the Far East. Oh, this is the thing that Pat said. Yo, homie, where it at?
I'm just in Tokyo eating some sushi, yo. There's no fiddlesticks here, bro. You feel it. This wigger in Tokyo, homie, trying to live like an Asian. I'm just looking for some hot Asian chicks, bro. I walk the streets of Tokyo. A lot of foreign influences here. Just Japanizing it on. You get my feel. I feel the rhythm exploding up out here. Hardcore, far east, here we go. Hey there, China, here I come. Trying to live like an Asian, but I'm still a wigger and white. They get no fooling. I just be chiseling out, baby. Here we go. You feel what is right, you know what is still. The dragon that connects the bridge between earth and heaven. The mandate of the great heavenly abode. It feels the premiership of the emperor ruling on high with the mandate of heaven. The dragon god is bringing good fortune to the far east. I just want to find some word of peace. I feel the Tao hanging down upon me. I know and understand the way of Guo. I'm just trying to find my controversial side between yin and yang. The philosophies of Mencius and Confucius. Where it at, bro? The dark alleyway in middle Tokyo. I think I might have seen a ninja following me from behind, bro. I turn and I look, and I don't see a thing. I think that I might be losing it. I just want to take some sushi, freestyle out in a sushi bar. You know what it is, it just be chillin', yo. But I think that I just might have seen a ninja star fly right by me, bro. I think that they might have hired a ninja assassin. They're doing the ninjutsu on this wigger, bro. I just might be outclassed, feeling outstabbed. I just feel unbelieved. What is going? I turn my back and look. I don't know what is finding, but then I look forward. It was a ninja in a dark black gi, full of ninja stars, doing some ninjutsu tricks and fooling up my mind. I just hope that I don't die anytime soon. It isn't my time to go. I just want some freestyling. That's where I go. Just want to be chillin'. But they hired an assassin to kill me, bro. Where be the violence? I just feel the violence. I just think I might be losing it, bro. But then I woke up out of the bed. It was some bad fish, puff fish that I ate. It was all just a dream, yo.
Right out of the Son Goku Jedi.
I find the eternal way between the yin and yang. I just feel so far eastern that I've never seen a Westerner until they came to attack old China, bro. Old Chinatown with them martial arts, yo. Them Shaolin monks, bro. They make the moves, yo. You know what I be saying here. You see the Shaolin monks training up so hard, bro. They're busting hardcore with their fighting moves. The British attacked Canton in the Opium Wars. The Emperor is just trying to defend old China, the values of the old Chinese nation. Thousands of years in the making they behold it. The monks make ultimate sacrifice. They were like lambs to the slaughter. It was truly hardcore. Boxer rebellion. You know what is up. Wong Chao Fei. I just feel the wolf. You know what I'm saying. But down through the line of so many dynasties, there was never a moment when they felt like these. Freestyling moment with the monks in beholding, bro. I just see there with the Buddha. And we do some drop raps. In and in by the Buddha. You know what I am saying, my wig up. I'm just with the bros in the Shaolin Temple, yo. I feel the way of the woe, and I know how to do the Qigong, yo. Just learning the moves, martial arts carrier, top, Wigger rap style, bro. The Wigger martial artist is coming home in the West. You know what is right, bro, just hanging with the best. I know the Qigong, and I feel the way of the woe. I know what I'm starting to. You cannot feel this, bro, but it's really real, like the shadow, yo. Alright. This is Big Shimmy. I'm back. I'm just ready to get it. Plunging on forward with the Yakuza gang. Why is it? You get what the feel, you know what you cannot perceive. I am downtown in downtown Tokyo. You know what is up. Woo! I feel the dawn waking me up early in the morning. I feel it riling. Let's just go. The Yakuza, bro. We dealing hardcore with the professionals. This is the mafia of Japan, yo. I'm just making some hardcore sales, bro. Getting into real estate fraud and making a fortune with the Yakuza, yo. I just got out of prison. I just be rhyming it, mixing it, hard style. I think I might be tempted to throw a bomb on a train, yo, and take them hostage. Let's just go, bro. Don't you yo me because you're my bro. I'm just hanging with the professionals, bro. The mob and the mafia got nothing up on here. This is the Yakuza, yo. We know and we feel. The militarism is back off in style. I just might do a bank robbery. Just doing some dealing underground. Just living on the edge of life. You know what is feeling. You know that this is right. Even though I know in my head it is really wrong. But I still live the life on the edge with the Yakuza, yo. Japan, let's go! Godzilla got nothing on the fire that is the soul of the Yakuza. Ninjutsu is the style of the Yakuza. This is a way of life that few can really appreciate. It is life here on the streets of Tokyo. Godzilla got no thing on the Yakuza. He might be a monster, but we are the real predators, yo. We're going out and we might be bombing and arresting and breaking into a bank. Hardcore dealings out here on the streets. You see what is busted and you know what is not to be seen. It is the unseen forces, the supernatural forces in order that you cannot really perceive.
Alright, and there you go, bros. That was Wigger in the Far East by Little Shimmy. This is Big Shimmy. Here we go. Let's go! Yeah. Dude, hopefully that'll get some notoriety. Big Shimmy, Big Wigger in the Far East. Little Shimmy is from Compton, yo. He went over to Japan to eat some sushi, yo. I just messed with a geisha. I freaking got so hard laid. Hardcore, motherfuckers. You can't get a display. But Little Shimmy is just be getting fired up. Hardcore mofo, you know what's beginning. I ain't no Little Shimmy no more. I'm Big Shimmy, yo. Just playing out here on the streets of Tokyo. You know the woke women's. They get so butthurt every time they hear me just being a wigger and dancing on the tabletops, bro. Just being a freestyling, yo. Just be a wigger, yo, and freestyling, bro. I'm just hanging with the bros out on the streets of Tokyo. Let's go! This is Big Shimmy. Is one of those lines that will go down in rap history. Akin to, will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Will the real Big Shimmy please stand up? Let's go. Sorry I dipped out. I'm half Lithuanian. Mom was born in displaced persons camp in Germany after grandparents escaped. Oh. Was this when the Red Army moved back into Lithuania in 1944 during the Soviet counteroffensive against the Wehrmacht, I suppose? And then your grandparents escaped? Eric is too scared to mess with Little Shimmy, aka Big Shimmy. What you got, little boy? You ain't gonna mess with Big Shimmy, little boy? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with yo, boy? What's wrong with yo? You ain't gonna mess with Big Shimmy, boy? Yes, Grandpa War period. What did the forest ever do to him at Katrina? Oh, her grandfather was fighting Red Army or Russian soldiers in the early Cold War. 1944 to 1950 something, dude. Here you go. It's called the Guerrilla War in the Baltic States. This is one of the first conflicts of the Cold War. I guess you could say it's one of the last battles of World War II in Europe, and it goes over into the Cold War phase. Latvian, Lithuanian, and Estonian partisans. The Baltic states were very pro-German, dude. At Warhammer, what is your bit rate set to, bro? Bit rate. Oh, it's set to 2025. That's half of the entire internet speed I'm using, which is like 4,000 something bit rate. Why, bro? Here, I don't want to dox myself, dude. After my run-in with Plate Gang, that was definitely more than enough about the doxing shit, dude. I definitely don't want to self-dox again, bro. That crap with Jay Danks, Reformed Stoic, and then Plate Gang especially, doxing and posting my stuff on Kiwi Farms is more than enough, dude. To 750 at Warhammer till fix your frame drops. Yeah, I can see that it's freaking crashing. I'll have to set the resolutions also to a different thing. Okay, what did he say? 750. Wasn't that about the same speed that most people did when they live streamed on Bitwave? I think it was 8. Now it's saying that there's no data. A lot of my family ended up in Serbia. Guess I'm alive thanks to Nazis, LOL. Well, dude, I mean the Nazis ethnically cleansed millions of people, dude. Millions of, like, minorities and people, like 6 million Jews and like 7 or 11 million other people are victims in like the Holocaust or whatever. And then countries like Hungary committed the Novi Sad massacre. Okay, well if I restart the live stream... What was that I just heard, bro? Okay, well, if I restart the live stream, I'll have to end this, Beans. Set it to 1. Yeah, I'm going to have to change the resolution also on this B-frames to 1. That's what Greek suggested. Okay. There. I did 300 kbps on Bitwave. Okay. I apologize. I'm going to end this right fast and restart the stream.